guys, what is poppin'? In today's video, this is going to be a kind of a cool one because I am kind of making my own challenge. Now, I don't know yet what I'm going to call this challenge, but obviously by the time this video goes up, I'll have a name and it'll be the title of this video. But whatever the title of this video is, that's exactly what we're doing today. So the objective is to do some sort of crazy look that you would never do on a day that you are going out and about and aren't in quarantine. So this look is something that you're only going to do when you're experimenting and just wanting to have fun and go crazy and explore your makeup and your talent and not really do something that you would do on a normal day. So I'm trying to kind of make the most out of this quarantine, and I feel like that's cool. If you go through your makeup and discover your talent, you probably don't even know that you could do this crazy look that you're going to do if you follow this challenge, and I hope the same turns out for me. I do kind of have a look in mind, but hopefully I'm able to execute it the same way. I'm going to be using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I know I've used this quite a bit on my channel, but I do like to make it a point on my channel to use one palette repeatedly a lot, because I feel like on YouTube it's really easy to just get caught up on new launches, and that way for the people who are watching the videos, the viewers, it's really easy for them to want the other palette that you're using in your video. I don't think it's necessary to keep buying every single new launch out there, so I try to keep my videos up to using the same few palettes, just because if you own that palette, it's just the easiest for you to recreate, and you don't feel like you have to go buy another palette just to recreate my look, you know? Or any look, in fact. I don't like it. I mean, it's nice when people do reviews on their channels and have new palettes going out, but personally, I'm not like that type of channel. I just like to keep it more realistic. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into this crazy experimental look and see what we come up with. I'm really excited to see the outcome, and I hope you are too, and let's get straight into it. Okay, so I'm starting off with the black shade in the palette called Temptress. I'm using my BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 8 brush. I love how this brush is precise yet rounded, so it buffs out the color, but it also pinpoints the color too, so you get it exactly where you need it, but it also blends it out at the same time. You know what I mean? I love this type of brushes. So I'm taking that and I'm just laying that over my crease. I'm starting out very, very light because it is a very pitch black shade, so you don't want to go straight in and, you know, have a really crazy black eye. So I'm just adding more, and I'm kind of winging it out literally all the way to my hairline, because I was kind of going for that fox eye trend, you know, the one that's going around with a little bit of eyeliner, but of course I want to take it on to another level, so I made it really crazy and extra intense, but that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Now I'm going to be cutting out the crease. This part is the most difficult part ever, especially to do this on camera. It was very, very difficult, I've got to say, but I think it turned out pretty nice for being on camera. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst, okay? We like it. We'll stick to it. And now I'm taking the shade, this yellow shade. I can't see the shade right now. Oh, no joke. I'm taking this shade and I'm putting that on the inner fifth of my lid. And I'm taking that and just adding it, because this shade isn't the most vibrant, but the more you build it up, the more vibrant it gets. And I kind of really did want it to be vibrant. Also, quick note, my eyebrows really messy. Sorry, quarantine brows, you know. Now I'm dipping into the shade My Man, and I'm using this on the, I'd say almost middle, but still inner corner. It's right in between the inner lid and the middle of the lid, and I'm just really buffing that out everywhere, because I kind of wanted to set this as the base. Now I'm taking the shade Heart On, and I'm just going to be taking that on top of that shade My Man we already used, but I'm also going to be pinpointing that exactly to the middle of the lid, and then I'm going to be buffing that out kind of more towards the edge. And now I'm taking the shade Living My Best. This is a very, 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 very intense shade. I would recommend to tap off your excess and be very, very careful with the shade, because it is an intense red, as you can tell. It is crazy intense, and I obviously didn't get the memo. So here we are. I had to fix this mess and blend it out a little bit off camera, but then I also did a little bit on camera, as you can tell, and I really had to put my blending skills to the test at this part. So I just kept blending it out with that same precise brush. By the way, I've been using the same Morphe M455 brush this whole process, just because I think it's a perfect brush to use. It's a really small one. It's the smaller version of the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 8 brush. And I think it's really cool when you use the last color you use for the next color. I just think it diffuses everything together. Plus, you have less brushes to wash, right? It's a win-win. So I'm taking that, and then I'm taking the shade Stay True. I don't know about you guys, but the shade reminds me of Khloe Kardashian's daughter, True. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the name Stay True. I don't know why. but it does. Anyway, I'm taking that all the way on the outer corner, kind of almost by the hairline, but still leaving space for where that black is. And this is going to be the last shade of our colorful colors. Yes, finally, woohoo. And now taking the black shade Temptress once again, and I am going to be blending that all together. Also, don't worry about messing up that cut crease you made, because we will go ahead and clean that up in a few seconds. Okay, so I'm going back with the same Stay True and diffusing those two colors together so that you can have a nice transition and that it looks all nice together, and just blending that out so that it has a nice diffuse transition, because this look does call for a lot of blending. Now, like I said, we're going back with our concealer and really cleaning that up, because obviously some of the color that we had from before fell onto our concealer on our lid. So I'm just cleaning that up. Since you already have kind of a template there, it's really nice, and I think it's not that hard. And now I'm taking the shade Empowered, and I'm taking this on my finger. I feel like these shimmers in this palette definitely look the best when you use your finger. They perform the best, especially on top of concealer. When you use a brush, it kind of just rubs off the concealer, especially if your concealer is kind of more of the wet type. So I definitely use my finger, and I definitely recommend you to use your finger if you're using this palette and this shade. And I'm taking that with my finger and building that up as much as I possibly can, because we all know we love a shimmery lid, and I'm dabbing that all over the lid. I'm doing it first on the inner corner, and then I'm also doing that on the outer corner. I'm leaving a bit of space in the middle. I obviously will be putting most of the pink also in the middle, but I just left a little gap so that we can go in with the shade right now called Talia. This is my favorite shade in the whole entire palette. It is a beautiful, beautiful gold yellow color. It reminds me of the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife highlight, but it's just more intense, and it's just a beautiful shade. So I'm using this on the middle of my lid to kind of do a halo eye, but it's not too intense or too crazy where like I'm doing a halo cut crease either. Now I'm going back with the black Temptress shade, and I'm using that to kind of blend out the edge. Also, right now everything doesn't look the most blended or the most nicest, but I will go back and fix that later on, so don't worry if you see some patchiness in the crease. I will be working on it before all the blenders come for me. But yes, I am blending that out, and I'm kind of making a V shape on the side of the eye where it kind of hits my hairline, because I want the bottom to touch my lower lash line and the top to obviously flow into the crease, if that makes sense. Now I'm taking a makeup remover wipe and wiping that all off. I gotta say, there was a lot of eyeshadow on my makeup remover wipe, and then I'm going back with my Morphe M506 brush, which is the brush I used for the black, which is the brush I'm using to blend out the black. And this is just a little bit more nicer to blend rather than the Studio Pro number 8 brush, just because I feel like it's a bit more, I'd say like loose, like it's not as firmly packed with bristles. So I'm using that again, and then I'm taking my makeup remover wipe once again and taking out all the excess and making that sharp wing. And then I'm going back and I'm using my Morphe E36 brush for this, and I'm just taking the shade Stay True, and I'm using that to blend out all the black that's on the edge. And I'm also blending that into our little color that we had over here. Like I said, I will go back and blend it out together. Here I am. And now I'm taking the shade I'm in it, and this is the color I'm going to use for the inner corner highlight. This shade does have a pink undertone. I wish this palette had a more inner corner highlighty color, because this has a very strong pink undertone, and I feel like it kind of just looks like a normal pink shimmer instead of an inner corner highlight. So that's the one thing I wish I did different, but here we are. Now I'm taking the shade Love Handles, and I'm using my Real Techniques Multitask Eye Brush, and I'm using this to just blend everything out. Obviously, I'm not making it too intense where it washes away all the color, but I'm using it to kind of make everything flow together, because since we are using such crazy harsh colors, it is easy for them to look patchy. So as you can tell, I'm blending that all out, and I'm especially bringing it out to where the wing ends, right next to my hairline. Now I'm back with lashes on. Don't mind my glue, it's clearly not dry yet, but I had to get the video flowing. And now I'm taking the same yellow shade we used on the crease. I'm literally going with the same rainbow colors that we used on top in the crease, same thing on the lower lash line. And of course, I'm building that up just a bit, and I'm using my most small brushes that I use for all the colors, and just really pinpointing that color and building it up. Again, please don't mind my lash glue. I promise it will dry in a couple seconds. Now I'm taking the shade Living My Best, that crazy red shade. Be very careful with the shade, like I said, because as you can tell, it's pretty crazy. Now I'm taking the shade Stay True, again same colors as the top, and just blending that out all the way into the black where we created that fox eye wing. Now I'm taking the shade Rider Diamonds, and I'm going to be using this for my brow bone highlight. This is such a beautiful shade. I love it, and all the sparkles are honestly gorgeous, so I had to use it on my brow bone. And we are done with doing the look, guys. It definitely requires a lot of building, but I feel like it really came together at the end, and this is the final result. This is the final look. I am actually obsessed with the way it turned out. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to turn out like this. I kind of had another vision going on in my head, but I think this honestly turned out as good as the vision I had in my head. It just turned out a little different, but I don't mind it at all. I think it still looks pretty cool. We did have some hiccups across the road, and in like the middle I was a little scared. I was like, oh my god, am I just messing up and doing my eyeshadow for no reason? But in the end, I feel like it really did pull through together, and I'm obsessed with how it turned out. And I had a lot of fun doing this, guys. So if you are at home and you have never done makeup before, or you are beginning, or you've never done like a crazy look, like I haven't really done this crazy of a look since a long time. So if you haven't done that, I would totally recommend that you sit down with your makeup and you try stuff out, you discover your talent, and you discover yourself a bit more. You know, makeup can be a really good escape right now during what we're going through right now, and I feel like it'd be really cool to do this. So I'd like to tag some of my friends here on YouTube, Amanda Rose here on YouTube, Jessica Mock, my friend Jess. I'd like to also tag Gab from Gab and Glam. I'd like to also tag Jackie at Jackie Naturals and Darissa Rain, Riri, all of them here on YouTube. They are all amazing. I'll leave their links in the description, and yeah, I tag you all to do this, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon in my next one. And I also hope you enjoyed this look, because I worked really hard on it and it took me a while to film, like 2 hours. So alright, I'm gonna go now. Bye!